Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My kitty moved off the couch onto the floor. We got the AC turned up a little bit. I think I've got it up to like 77 or 78, but I turned on the ceiling fan to just keep the air moving, and that usually keeps the house cool enough while while I'm basically just sitting here streaming. I'm not cooking or anything, so that usually keeps the house cool enough that we're all happy. Kitties are happy, dog is happy, and I'm happy. Hey, Josh, good morning. Glad to see you show up. Hey, Digi, good morning to you too. Yeah, AC troubles, man. I hate them. I really do. Um, the wife likes it a heck of a lot colder in the house than I do. I prefer it around 77 to 78 degrees. Hey, Leslie, good morning to you. Glad to see you. She preferred, like I said, I like a 77 to 78 with a ceiling fan cruising, and unless I'm cooking, unless I got the stove and the oven running at the same time. I've been meaning now for 5 years to try to put a ceiling fan in my kitchen, but I want a low. I don't want one that hangs really low because I don't want the chains to be hanging down to where I'm bouncing the chains off my head because of the positioning of the kitchen lamp light, the ceiling light. But I almost thinking about getting one that's remote controlled instead of having the chains on it. But I don't trust those. That's what I was thinking about doing. Yeah, that's what I'm really considering doing for my kitchen one, but I also want to get one that's kind of low profile. Uh, because basically it only really be getting used when I'm in there cooking or doing dishes or that kind of. My wife loves it now that I'm sort of semi-retired. I mean, I do this stream, and then I'm busy until noon, basically, with the stream. And then from noon till 2, 3 o'clock, if I got any grocery shopping or anything else I got to do, that's when I do that. And then at 4 o'clock is when I usually start making dinner because she gets home around 5 and we like to eat around 6. So depending on what I'm making for dinner. So, I mean, my wife just absolutely loves it. Basically, she doesn't like to cook and I do. It's like I got up this morning and made her hash browns and biscuits and an egg for breakfast. And that made her all kinds of happy. The only habit she has it, uh, she'll leave dirty dishes piling up, and I know women are always complaining about men doing this. Well, here I am, a man complaining about my wife doing it, leaving dirty dishes piling up in places that I don't expect to see them. And then I think I've got all the dishes washed up, and then I'm running around a coffee cup or a bowl that she had ice cream in. Well, what's that? Cootie juices on the dishes. Nah, it's just I don't like dirty dishes sitting around the house. I don't like finding a half a cup of coffee or a half drank glass of a sweet tea sitting someplace. I just don't like it. We don't have bugs in this house. In Florida, if you live in Florida, you've got bugs. So it's a constant. I mean, if you don't keep a clean house, you're going to have roaches and crap in your house. So you got to keep a clean house. And it, she's lived here almost as long as I have, and she still has that habit of. I mean, I get up. I go to bed an hour before she does because I get up 2 hours before she does. Usually, and so I'll get up and I'll come out and I'll find a bowl that had ice cream in it just sitting in the sink. She didn't even fill water into it. Yeah, exactly, Josh. Fill them up with water. That'll at least that'll keep the bugs out. Just if you don't want to wash it, rinse it out real good. Then leave it filled with water. Oh, don't. I use disposable Tupperware for stuff in the kitchen or that goes in the refrigerator. You know what I'm talking about? Those lunch meat containers you can buy at Walmart. Got the roast beef or the ham or chicken or whatever in it. And if I got left, I saved those because when I got leftovers, that's what they go into. And if they get nasty, then I just throw them away. And it's like, okay, it's a disposable Tupperware. But anyway, I love my wife dearly. Her and I had a conversation about this morning. I am so glad that I'm in this year's. I'm so glad that when I met my wife, the whole attitude about dating was what it was 30 some odd years ago than what it is today. And I feel sorry for guys today. I really do. I feel so sorry for these young guys today. All right. Yeah, I gave my wife, and I told you all this before, I gave my wife my phone number 4 times. I asked her out 4 times. Once, once or twice, she won't fess up if it was once or twice. She lost my phone number. The other 2 times, her best fat friend threw away my phone number on her. And well, somebody else that washes out Ziploc bags. Yes, yes. Well, wash them out, and I even got the little fancy buy a little wire rack to put them on to let them dry. That's right. But see, I also use that for my food saver bags. Right now, I made chicken patty sandwiches for supper last night, and I had 3 extra and these were thighs and breasts. These were actual chicken thighs, actual chicken breasts. I flattened them out, spiced them up, put them in the refrigerator for a few hours, then spiced up, seasoned up flour, then egg wash, then into a mixture of panko and regular breadcrumbs, then pan fried and then finished off in the oven. Hey, morning, ramen. Well, I had 3 left over, so I put those in Ziploc baggies last night. And there were Ziploc baggies that I had washed and dried and reused. They're perfectly fine. Ziploc baggies, and you can wash them and it's only when they won't close anymore is when I throw them away. I've been tempted to do that duck dog, adding Goya to it. Hey, Tyre, morning. I'm glad you're here, Tyre, because we're going to be talking about something that right down your alley later on. So, anyway, one of the young guys that I work with, and the reason why I was saying that, because the internet is ruining young women today. The internet is ruining young women. And when I mean young, I'm talking late to late 20s down to 17 and 18-year-olds. And it's probably affecting even younger ones, but not as bad. It's not as bad, I don't think. Young guy, I asked him the other night when I relieved him, I said, how's everything going? Yada, yada, yada. And I teased him because I sort of teased him. I asked him if he's found a girlfriend yet. And he looked at me and goes, no, I haven't. And I said, okay, well, there's one out there for you. And he said, yeah, but I'm not 666. And I looked at him and I was like, oh no, you're kidding me. But he's a short guy. He's Indian. He's short. He's 5'6", 5'7" at the best. Nice young guy. So he's not 6 foot, and he doesn't make a 6-figure salary. And he said, and he goes, and I didn't think it would hit this area like it has. And he said every woman he's asked out, every young lady he's asked out on a date has turned him down because he's not 6 foot tall or anywhere near 6 foot tall. And I'm like, you've got to, they actually told you that? And he goes, well, a couple of them have. Told me I wasn't tall enough for them. I'm like, and you poor guy. And that's one thing, I'm 6'3". I've had girls, when I was single, I had girls tell me that I was too tall for them. But obviously I never had one tell me I was too short. But this guy, he's got to put up with women telling him he's too short for them to date. And I know that's just beating the crap out of his self-confidence. To have a woman tell him that they won't go out on a date with him because he's too short. He can't help how tall he is. But I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, he is a really nice guy. And if I had a daughter in his age bracket, if I had a daughter, it would not bother me one bit to see if they were dating him or someone like him. Hey, Wiley, that's how it's going. Yeah, Tug Dog, that's when you throw the scales down. Oh, wow, John. Water leaks. My wife, she used to go to sleep with that, the rain sounds until she realized it was keeping me up half the night because I was walking around the house looking for water leaks. So not much, Wiley. I hadn't gotten to the fun stuff. I was laminating about the fact that a young guy I work with, he's being told to his face by girls that he's too short for him to date. And I hate seeing him get beat up, but I mean, what can I say to him? There's the old there's somebody out there for you, and they don't know what they're missing, and you're a nice guy. You'll find a young lady one day. But I mean, there's nothing I can say to make him feel any better. I can't even really, tell him I sympathize with him because, like I said, I'm 6'3". He's 5'7". I can't sympathize with him. I'd have sympathy for him, especially since I know he's such a nice guy. But that's just I think that's just so messed up for this poor guy. I mean, like I said, he's really a nice guy, but I don't see where these women are getting off telling him, at least, you know, that's cruel. Oh, I won't date you because you're too short. What the hey? Oh, anyway. Oh, crap. How am I looking here? Yep, I thought I heard it click. Okay. I wish this had happened a few minutes ago. Let's talk about that picture I have on let's talk about that picture right there for a moment. All right, y'all saw all this. Let me share this screen. Okay, back this up to right about there.
Begin. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your.
That smile right there and the way it crept across his face. I saw that, and the first time I saw it, and it's every time I see it, to me, that's just, I mean, that was almost demonic. It was nearly a demonic smile as far as I could tell. There was nothing there. No, I mean, there's nothing else there. How can you say that was anything else but pure evil? There was that's that smile of a man saying, yeah, I did it. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. when you watch a movie or a TV show where the main bad guy is getting away with something and the good guy is, is sitting there tied up in a chair. Daniel Craig. Remember the Daniel Craig James Bond movie? He's tied up in the chair. They've got him stripped. They got his pants stripped off of him, and they're beating on the bottom of his chair where his balls are hanging through. And the big bad guy of the show is talking to him, and he's got this smile on his face because he knows he's got Bond. He knows he's got 007 right where he wants him, and there's nothing that can be done about it. That's the smile that every director is looking for. That's the smile that they want that big evil bad guy to have when he's confronting the hero of the movie or the hero of the TV show. And that's the smile that he wants that big bad guy to get on his face. Because, I'm bad. Not you know it, I know it, and there's nothing you can do about it. I did that evil thing, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's what I saw when I saw this. He just stops dead.
You directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign?
All right, let's see here. I'm reading the chat here real quick. Joshua, if you want to watch the movie watch the original one. Don't watch the remake. Get the one that was made for TV. Don't watch the remake. All right, that's just my opinion. I'm a fan of that movie. I'm a fan of that book. And the remake was horrible when compared. Exactly, Ramen. So anyway, that is my take on this smile. That is my take on this whole thing. And it's not just my take. There was a lot of people commenting on this. Yeah, John Ritter was in the first one, the TV version. One of these days, I keep getting this phone call from Crestview, Florida. the same few phone numbers, but they never leave a message. They're calling me right now, but they never leave a message. No, did I try it one time? Yeah, I tried. I think I tried to Google it once. That, Ron, and then put yourself on their calling list if it's spam callers. You'll start getting getting calls from them. But anyway, yeah, but that's just my take on that whole thing. And to me, that was the big bad guy smiling that, we all know the truth and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Trump, right after that conviction, Trump raised a crap ton of money. And one thing I've got to say for Trump supporters, okay? Y'all held yourselves pretty damn good this weekend. No rioting, no burning of houses down, no destroying public property. Robin, if I were to get a phone call like that, I would absolutely laugh my ass off. Was it? Oh, did they up it to 56 million? Okay. Last I saw was 54. But yeah, people donated money to Trump. The Democrats, while a lot of the polls they took over this past weekend don't necessarily, or the polls released this past weekend don't necessarily include the polling data is not 100% yet. All right. But I heard some of them reporting that their polls showed a 25% swing into Trump's favor after the jury's conviction, guilty findings. 25% swing. And something like a 10% swing among Democrats. And we just had a Nebraska state legislator, I believe he was a senator out there, Friday afternoon, jumped parties, went from Democrat to Republican. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that, and I'm going to be honest, a lot of it is going to be so convoluted and complicated that I'm not going to be able to wrap my brain around it. But again, as the old saying goes, it matters not how the people vote, it matters who counts the votes. Oh, okay, Tyre. I've never heard of that before, but okay, yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. I mean, one of the remember last week when Trump had his rally in the Bronx, one of the interviewers said, he goes, "This is the first time any politician has actually come to this area of the Bronx to meet with us." And he is one, and goes, he's one of us. He's he is in trial. He is being faced with all these charges. It doesn't matter how much money he has. He's one of us now. So, like I said then, I'm going to say, and I'm going to say now, I suspect this is all going to blow up in the Democrats' face. There's been a lot of accusations about this Judge Meacham. I posted one of them, one of the accusations this weekend that came out. Let's see here. Okay, here's the video. Let me share this screen. I'm not certain who the uh, voiceover is. I think it's Waters, but I'm not 100% certain. Okay, what? All right, there's something happened here. And this always happens when I do TikTok. There's something that's coming from TikTok. So let me jump over here. That's not it. Is this it? No.
List of judges. He's an acting judge. And he's not just a Biden donor. Judge Merchan donated to the Progressive Turnout Project and to an organization called Stop Trump. And he never recused himself.
Now, that donation to Stop Trump, I believe is like $35. So that's a pretty minuscule amount of money in the overall. But he still donated to it.
Judge Merchan was allegedly randomly selected for the Trump hush money case, the Trump organization fraud case, and for the Steve Bannon case. This is almost statistically impossible that an acting judge, not within the pool of sitting judges, who happens to be a Stop Trump donor, is randomly selected to all three of these Trump cases within the same year. It's probably another conspiracy theory. Just like the resistance left fell in love with Fauci, Mueller, and Avenatti, they now have a man.
All right. Now, could you guys hear all that they said about him? So, anyway, a lot of accusations being thrown around about this guy. I can't vouch for any of it. I'm just saying that we've got issues there that if those accusations are true, that this judge has been handpicked to handle all these trials, and that he wasn't even in the rotation of judges to start with, but somehow he got selected to handle all four of them. One, it wouldn't surprise me. this DOJ, as it's being run right now, is corrupt as hell. Don't expect New York's to be any less corrupt. I've talked about his daughter raising money. She raising money and earning her paycheck off of this trial, or off of that trial. This trial is over with. So we'll see what happens. Trump has got his his post conviction stuff he's got to go through. I was watching an interview this weekend, or after it happened. One of the guys, Trump's got to go into a room full of mirrors and whip it out and pee in front of people. So these guys are going to actually sit there and watch him piss into a bottle. Standard urinalysis. I had to watch people pee in a bottle when I was in the Air Force. I got tagged for pee duty. Not a fun job. Not a fun job at all. And the women, I think, actually had it worse. The women that had to go and watch other women pee in a bottle. I think that job would probably even be worse. He's got to disclose all of his finances. They're going to put an ankle bracelet on him. Yada, 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 yada. He's got to ask he's got to ask for permission to go anywhere. Of course, he loses his gun license and his driver's license and his passport and yada yada. And they're gloating over all this stuff, all the humiliation Trump's got to go through this week and in the upcoming weeks. But there's also been demands out there from some people on the left that Biden and Governor Hochul pardon Trump immediately after sentencing. That they have the pardon written there and they pardon him immediately. Well, that way he can't appeal the conviction. And what that does is that means then once he's pardoned, he can't appeal the conviction and have the conviction itself overturned. So he's still a convicted felon, technically, even though he's been pardoned. And he's never been able, he won't be able to get the judicial system to overturn the conviction. So, they're playing some stupid games here now. And because now they're saying, they're wanting to be able to make certain that they'll always be able to refer to him as a convicted felon. And nobody be able to say, yeah, but those convictions were overturned on appeals. I don't know, Tyre. I don't know if he can deny the pardon or not. But that's just my gut instinct or gut feeling is that once they do pardon him, he won't be able to. The appeals say, well, he won't be able to do the appeals to get the convictions overturned. Which any legitimate appeals court should do. So, okay. Well, Tyre, this is the part that I think that, I wish you had your microphone because this is the part that I'd love to have your input on with your job at TSA. because there are some people out there who've all of a sudden decided to make the real ID an issue. Okay. The countdown to the real ID enforcement: 337 days, 14 hours, 18 minutes, and 0 seconds. Now, 0 seconds. On May 7th, 2025, U.S. travelers must be real ID compliant to board domestic flights and access certain federal facilities. Find out if you're real ID ready with our interactive tool. Oh, okay. Let me let's see, Tyler. Let's see, where is it? There we go. There, I just sent it to you, buddy. Now, the real ID, a lot of it, as I understand it, depends on the state you live in, because the states have to issue you the real ID. And I remember when this first thing came out, it came out after 9/11. Because, of course, the the terrorist takeover of all the planes. So, well, now we got to know that you are who you say you are. So you got the real ID. Hey, Tyre.
Good morning. Hold on a second, Sean.
All right. So you got to have that real ID in order to get on planes. Got to have that real ID. The states have to verify you are who you say you are.
You know why that is, right, Sean?
Why? What is?
Oh, you can hear me. So the real ID has a whole bunch of new security features that can't be replicated or currently can't be replicated.
Right.
So it's reason why they're pushing it now, because a lot of old school stuff or a lot of old school IDs can be easily faked.
Right.
So that's why it's a bigger push for the real ID. It has, I believe, 2 new holograms that is like have light and loop protections,
Right.
and micro printing. What else did they have?
Well, like on my driver's license, it's got a hologram of my photograph embedded into the driver's license.
Yeah, it like the real ID has a whole ton of like I said, whole new security features and stuff that they really don't, they want to protect, protect the ID. So I get it.
So, like when I live, I clicked on Florida here because that's where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what they say we've got to have here to show. All right, because we're getting ready to enter phase 4.
Mm-hmm.
All right, real ID, driver's license, be non-compliant state may only use in conjunction with the second form of ID for boarding federally regulated aircraft. So, okay, here we go. What documents? All right, for a U.S. citizen, a valid unexpired passport, original or certified copy of a birth certificate. I've got my original. Consular report of birth abroad. Certificate of naturalization issued by DHS. a certificate of citizenship. For cases where the current name and name of the primary identity document are different, you should also bring your court-ordered name change document, marriage certificate issued by the courts, and or divorce decree issued by the courts. In all cases, the document must show a clear trail of name changes originating from birth name to the current name. Now, for non-citizens, a valid unexpired permanent resident card. There should, okay, I'm at the point now where I don't believe there should be a permanent resident card.
Agreed.
All right, you've got a non-citizen card is good for 5 years, 10 years, and if you haven't become a citizen at that time point, then you need to leave the country. A valid passport, except for non-immigrants, except for asylum applicants and refugees.
Agreed.
Other government-issued documents showing your full name. And I don't understand why this doesn't say U.S. government, U.S./state government. I mean, you know, the way this reads right here is it could be the German or the Indian government, and then how in the hell do you know that either one of those, you know, Pakistan? How do you know that that's Turkey? How do you know that that's a real document? If your name was changed by marriage or divorce, you have to have your name changed on your citizen and immigration paperwork. Both citizens and non-citizens need to bring your Social Security card or proof of your Social Security number. A list of documents that provide proof of the Social Security number can be, all right. And 2 documents that show your principal residence. So let's see what they say here. If there's anything here. Anyway, you've got to take all this stuff. Yeah, the same stuff we just looked at. So you got to take all this stuff to go to your state. Hey, Tyre. I'm sorry, dude. Go ahead and come on back, man. Let's see. Hey, Tyre, I'm sending you a fresh link just in case your old one doesn't work. No, you have a doctor's appointment. I'm sorry, man. I clicked the wrong button. Oh well, I hate it when I screw up like that. That was on me, guys. That was my mistake. All right, so let me get back to this real ID. Oh, that's it. That's all they got here. Okay, the skies just opened up and it is raining cats and dogs outside. I really apologize for that, Tyre. That was a screw up on my end. But like I said, people are really bollocksing over the fact that 337 days from now, you can't, all the stuff you won't be able to do. If your driver's license is not Real ID compliant. Now, in a way, I'm of two minds on this. Okay. Your driver's license, which started out as just something to show that you were properly trained on the rules of the road. And that's all it was meant to do. It's like your Social Security number. Your Social Security number was never meant to be anything but a form of identifying you for your Social Security program. In fact, it is still on the books that it is illegal for you to be forced to use that as a form of ID. But that's not the way it is anymore. It is your driver's license is becoming your papers. Now, a lot of states, and Texas is the most infamous one when it comes to this. And when I say infamous, I mean infamous in a good way. If you watch the auditors, especially the ones that run out of Texas, all right, when the cops come up and ask to see their driver's license, their ID, under Texas law, you don't have to show them your driver's license, your form of ID. You don't have to formally ID unless you have been arrested. Now, you can't give them a fake name under any circumstance. But they can come up to, the cops come up to you and ask you for your ID or ask you for your name. You can, sorry, but I am not identifying. Well, we're going to arrest you. What for? For not identifying. I don't have to identify unless I'm arrested. And you can't arrest me for not identifying in order to get my identity. That circular logic don't work. Even though he's in jail now for charges I don't want to talk about, there was a guy that went by News Now Houston. Years ago, he made a lot of money suing police departments who arrested him for failure to ID. But now, all right, but there's other states that, Louisiana, I think, is the most egregious of the bunch. They're they're almost a stop and ID state. Oh yeah, Josh, the old driver's licenses are not as secure as to showing who you are and not being able to be faked as the newer ones are. The new driver's licenses are really, that's why Georgia is really bad for this. You go in the DMV, it takes them a month to get a new driver's license. because they print you out a paper one, and your new one gets mailed to you. You can't just, like here in Florida, you walk in, at least last time I got my driver's license, which is a real ID one. I just walked in DMV and walked out with it half hour, 45 minutes later. Same way with my concealed weapons permit. All right, I walked in, showed them what I needed to do. They did what they needed to do, and they took my picture, and I walked out with my concealed weapons permit in about half hour, 45 minutes. Which anytime you're dealing with any government office like that, I consider that a win. Let me look. I got my driver's license. Just happen to have my driver's license sitting right here. Come on out of there. Oh, that reminds me. I think my military ID card expires this year. Yeah. Okay. Look at my driver's license. It's got my big photo. And then overlapping that is a hologram of that same photo. Then there's on the Florida side, over on the other side, is a smaller version of my photo with my initials and birth year in a hologram over top of that. And then it's got the gold star up on top showing that it's real ID compliant. So anyway, and so there's some stuff in there that you can just look at. And I tell you, when I've got to ID people, I've turned away IDs at the hotel because they were obviously fake. I like my concealed weapons permit. It's got the state, an image of the state of Florida in hologram over it 3 times, including over my photograph. Now, I got 2 more years on my concealed weapons permit before it expires. When does my military ID expire? Yeah, even as a retiree, my military ID card does have an expiration date. Oh, my retiree, it expires this year. Oh, shit. September of this year, my military ID card expires. That sucks. But anyway. Oh, okay. All right, Tyler. I would not be surprised about microprinting in there. But yeah, people are freaking out over this whole thing. They really are. And I don't understand. This has been something that's been in the works now since 9/11. 23 years. They've been working on getting this real ID in place. And it was extended because initially, I think it was like the states had 5 years to get compliant. And it's gotten extended several times to now it's, going to be, let's see, it's 23, 24, it'd be a quarter of a century almost to get compliant. So yeah, there's the people that are raising all the hullabaloo about this. I think they're they're conspiracy nuts. I'm not crazy. You know, it is something we have to be careful about, that it don't suddenly become a we need to see your papers, please, type thing. But I'm very happy to see them make our, you know, what's become an ID card, not just a driver's license. It's become, more importantly, an ID card to verify you are who you claim you are. That it you know, when doing business to help people from getting ripped off. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's just, you know, we're, you know, obviously we got to keep an eye. You know, it goes this far, no further. You know, you shall not cross this bridge, type thing. Okay, you know, we keep the government intrusion into who can demand to see our driver's licenses or our IDs on demand to an absolute and total minimum. Okay. Going into the courthouse, all right. Going into the courthouse. Now, if the courthouse is built into a governmental center, then no. It's when you're entering the court area then. Because I should be able to walk in to see the DMV or walk into the tax office without having to show an ID to get into it. I shouldn't need an ID card to walk into a government building or the post office. That, I think, you know, that's a scary part about some of this. I mean, because a lot of cities and counties, in, I would guess, an effort to save money, hassle, aggravation, whatever, build a government plaza. And you have all these offices, including the courthouse, basically under one roof. And it's fairly common that in order to enter a courthouse, that you have to show an ID card. That's fairly common. It's fairly common that you cannot record, audio or video record, within a courthouse. But now that they're building these governmental centers, some judges have taken it upon themselves to say, well, since my courtroom is under this roof, this whole building is under my jurisdiction, and I can say there's no recording of audio and video within this building. I've had to show I've had to show ID every time I've gone into the courthouse. And our courthouse, while one of our courthouses is completely separate building, And every time I've had to go into that building, I've had to show ID and what I was there for. I know some people, and I like to go in and sit in open trials. You know, just go sit at the trial to see what's going on, how the trial is done. And God bless them, I'm glad they do. That's not something that I want to do with my time off, is go sit and listen to trials. But if it's an open trial, you should have I don't mind people going in there to watch them. And I don't mind people going in to watch them. And I don't think that they should have a problem with showing an ID card to get in to watch a trial. Yeah, Duck Dog, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. I don't know what the rule is here in Florida, to be honest with you. Okay. I don't know what the rule is here. Basically because I'm not one of these I've got other things I do with my time. I'm not a First Amendment auditor. I don't go out and watch trials. I don't go out and push to see who, do the police come out and bug people for recording out on the streets in front of City Hall or anything like that? That's not my thing. Even though we all have seen the videos, at least I hope we've all seen them. I've seen a bunch of them, and God bless these guys for doing it, because there's some of them that really are doing good work. They're Jeff Gray, Honor Your Oath, is one of my favorites. Because other than calling people dummy, you're a big dummy, he's usually fairly respectful when he's out there doing it. He's not out there yelling, screaming, cussing, or anything else. He just stands there and peacefully does his thing. Right, for the past year, his thing has been to go and stand in front of city halls or the post office or the library, government centers, with a sign, God bless the troops, or God bless veterans. And he'll get the police called on him quite a bit, people saying he's out there panhandling, begging for money or such. And he usually, 9 times out of 10, he refuses any donations. That he has taken them on occasion and turned around, gave that whatever money he was given to an actual homeless person. And when he does take people to court, he's usually asked for like $1,997 to be donated to Wounded Warrior or something like that. So that's one of the reasons why I really like Jeff Gray. He's a retired trucker who was a truck driver in the Army. And a lot of his, he's just an all around good character from what I've been able to see. I've never met the man. I only know what I see on the videos, but he is very respectful for most of it. Okay. The syringe I've got in, and one more to go, and then I'm done for the day. Yay! Yeah. Oh, God bless the homeless. Yep. So, all right. Another trial is starting today. And this is one. Yeah, Duck Dog, he really is. I really like him. I have a lot of respect for him. Another trial is starting today. Hunter Biden, historic gun trial against the president's son. Witnesses who may be called to testify include his ex-wife Kathleen, as well as his late brother's wife, with whom he had a brief relationship after Beau Biden's death. Yeah, he was in bed with his brother's wife within days of him dying. Now, I went home on leave one time when I was active duty. Went home on leave, and my younger brother had his girlfriend come over. And she was there for a few hours, and she was really a very attractive young lady. She was at the house there for a few hours. She went to leave, and about 30 minutes or so after she left, I wanted to, just I wanted to go somewhere. I don't remember where in the hell it was, the place I was wanting to go. And I was getting ready to walk out the door, and my dad pulled me to the side, and he goes, "Now, you're not meeting so-and-so, are you?" And I said, "What?" And he goes, "You're not going out to meet so-and-so, which, my brother's girlfriend." I said, "Hell no. Why would I want to do that?" And he goes, that's my brother's girlfriend. That's kind of crude, rude, lewd, and socially unacceptable. You don't mess around with relative spouses, especially your brothers. That is beyond bad. But anyway, now the thing here, this whole gun issue. Hunter Biden, the sole surviving son of Joe Biden, is going on trial in Wilmington, Delaware on 3 firearms-related charges brought by Special Counsel David Weiss, a Trump appointee. He has pled not guilty. He had actually started to plead guilty to a plea deal that was so light and easy, it was ridiculous. He was literally going to get away with it. The trial marks the first time a child of a sitting president has been on trial, begins days after the former President Donald Trump was convicted in his New York hush money case. The trial will be overseen by U.S. District Judge Mary Ellen Norica. Is expected roughly 2 weeks. The second juror was qualified without objection. She donated and volunteered for Hillary Clinton. Yeah, okay. but said she could be impartial towards Hunter. The first potential juror on the stand was struck down for cause after he said he could not be impartial about the law. I believe it's a God-given right, he said regarding gun ownership. It is a God-given right to own a gun. However, you can lose that right to own a gun. In a statement this morning, President Joe Biden said, "I am the president, but I'm also a dad. Jill and I love our son." Now, he's not Jill's son. Jill was his babysitter. She was not his mother. She was his babysitter. Hunter's resilience in the face of adversary. The man is a druggie. He's a drug addict. A lot of families have loved ones who've overcome addiction and know what we mean. Really, has he overcome his addiction? He sure doesn't. He spends a lot of time rubbing his nose when he's in public there. Oh, I love this. When Hunter Biden walked into the courthouse, he had to go through security like everybody else. In fact, he had to wait 30 seconds for the metal detector to reset. The court security officer apologized for the wait. Oh my God. Really? There's no way in hell that security officer would apologize to anybody else for having to wait 30 seconds for the metal detector to reset. You have got to be kidding me. Ashley Biden. Oh, so I wonder if she's going to be if they're going to ask her about taking showers with Joe. That could be interesting. I'd like to have her under oath and asked about having to take showers with Joe, about her diary. Okay. And let's see here. What exactly are they? Oh man, this page updated and it lost its. What exactly are the charges? Okay, what exactly are the gun charges here? Let's see if I can actually find the charges here. All right, here we go. All right. There we go. Trust CNN to be somewhat here. Okay. First two charges in the 3-count indictment are to the gun purchase itself. When a person buys a gun, they must fill out a form for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives and affirm they are legally allowed to buy the weapon. Hunter had been charged with lying on those forms. Questions include: have you been convicted of a felony? Are you a fugitive? Are you in the country? Are you a fugitive? Are you in the country unlawfully? And importantly to this case, are you an unlawful user of or addicted to illegal drugs? Hunter Biden checked that box that said no. Count 3 relates to the possession of the gun. It's against the federal law to possess a gun if you're abusing drugs. Hunter Biden had the guns for 11 days in October 2018 before his girlfriend threw it in a dumpster because she's worried about his mental health. Okay, according to the indictment and text made public in recent court filings, guns present a danger if they're in the wrong hands. That's impetuous behind these laws. The evidence seems pretty stacked against Hunter, but who determines who is an addict and where are the bright line rules that must be followed? So he lied on a federal form. Now, for most of us, y'all, I can never remember the form number there, Duck Dog. Okay, Josh, you have a good one, man. Try to stay out of trouble. If you get in trouble, have at least as much fun getting out as you did getting into it, okay? Oh yeah, I'll bet Leslie, you're exactly right. I'll bet Hunter and Zelensky is both partied. Remember the cocaine found in the White House? Yepers. We know where that stuff went or is supposed to go. Well, see, the part I hate about Florida, and again, this got passed under. I'm trying to remember if it got passed under Rick Scott or if it was under the Democrat. If we had a Democrat in the office at the time, but after Columbine, the school shooting, they put it out there a 3-day, as part of the Florida Constitution, 3-day waiting period on buying guns. The only exception to that is if you're concealed weapons. If you have a concealed weapons permit license, then you don't have to wait 3 days. They do the paperwork, they run it, and you can walk out that day with a gun. The anti-gunners have tried several times here in Florida to put a limit on how many guns you can buy a month, but that's never gone anywhere. Thank God. I wonder if I'm not caring about the witnesses. I don't care about that. Okay, if convicted on all 3 counts, he could face 25 years in prison. However, he doesn't have a prior criminal record, and first-time offenders often get much lower sentences than maximum. Okay, these are federal charges, so Joe Biden has the power to pardon his son at any time if his son is convicted. He could also commute the sentence, sparing him from the levied punishment. The White House has explicitly ruled out the possibility of the pardon, but political calculus could change after the November election. So, let's see what's happened in the past. George H. Bush's son faced civil penalties for violating banking laws. Jimmy Carter, Bubba Carter. Jimmy Carter's brother scrutinized for his foreign lobbying, but nothing sunk to the level of a criminal trial. Let's see here. There is a separate court battles over the constitutionality that makes it illegal for drug users to own a gun. The Biden administration is defending the law and wants the Supreme Court to take up the matter, but Hunter Biden's team argued in the case unsuccessfully the law violates the Second Amendment. You know, as much as the Biden family has pushed for to take away gun rights, I wonder how they felt about Hunter arguing that the law that Biden, that his father supports ostentatiously, is actually, he's going against what his daddy says. Just to get his own ass out of trouble. I don't want to see Hunter as much as Schadenfreude would do it. Because the whole Hunter, remember, the Hunter Biden laptop was determined to be a fake. Remember that? It was a fake. There was nothing truth to it. Meanwhile, everything said about the Trump-Russia collusion was real. The media played down one side while playing up the other. What the hell? How in the hell did I get a dime in my coffee cup? And this is my second cup of coffee today, third cup of coffee today. And I just found, I want to take a swig of the last of my coffee cup and I got a dime in my mouth. I wish I was a gold piece. I'd go make me another cup of coffee. Find a gold piece in my coffee cup. So anyway, we've got this trial starting today. I don't like seeing anybody going to jail over falsifying these over this kind of crap, to be honest. Hunter Biden should go to jail for his drug dealing. There's where he should be going to jail for. Should be getting punished, for just throwing a gun in a trash can. And didn't the Secret Service recover that? That's how this whole thing has come out, because the Secret Service ended up recovering that gun. Yeah, I got to drink a lot of coffee though to make dimes add up enough. But no, this whole thing just confuses. While this is a real crime by federal law, this is a real felony, not the bullshit that they just ran Trump through. This is a real and true felony. And yes, people have gone to prison for it. I don't like the law. I don't like that having to fill that form out to get a gun. This is you having to prove you're innocent in order to do something. If you're a prohibited gun owner, all right, if you're a prohibited gun owner and you've got a gun, then you should go to jail. But you should not have to prove that you're not a prohibited gun owner in order to buy a gun. I should not have to prove, I should not have to prove and jump through hoops in order to buy a firearm. Show an ID, a driver's license to buy a firearm? Okay. Walk into an FFL, show my driver's license to buy a gun. Okay. That's no worse than having to show your ID in order to vote. But this whole idea that I've got to go and seek the government's permission to buy a gun is what I don't like. And while I'm not for people, I'm not excusing people who lie on these forums. Because it is the law. Whether you like the law or not, you have to follow it. You can argue and fight to get the law changed, but you have to follow the law while it is the law. I don't think, though, lying on this form should get you 25 years in prison. And this can very easily take me down another road that I got into a long discussion with about a year or so ago. And the fact that I believe there needs to be reform in sentencing. I think a lot of these sentences now have gotten to the point that they no longer do any good. That the people they're sentencing the people, the wrong people, to too much jail time. And some sentences, and again, and it's this whole woke social justice type stuff that we need to go, and it's not I think that we need to, because, look at a person's skin color to determine how much of a jail sentence they get. But I believe that depending upon the harm done to an individual should determine, the more harm done to someone, the longer your sentence should be. With, of course, just straight outright murder being the longest, hardest sentence. Anyway, I'm not prepared to get into that conversation whatsoever. All right. But that's a conversation I think needs to happen sometime. Okay. I want to take a quick jump over to Israel and Gaza in this whole plan. All right. Now, we all know this headline we all know is wrong. Well, welcome. Here's a new name I'm not familiar with. Zatochi? Am I close on pronouncing that? A state official flipped her car on Main Street and got away with it. Yeah. There's a sheriff that's been pulled over 6 times for speeding in excess of 15 miles an hour. Zatoichi. Zatoichi. Is that right? Zatoichi? Well, welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy my ramblings. Today is more of a rambling one than a shouting at. I had my shouting at the clouds one last week. An old man yelling at the sky. Today's a little bit more rambly one. But welcome to the stream. Glad to see you. I hope you find me somewhat interesting. All right, the title of this here is Biden's Gaza Plan. First of all, we know it's not Biden. Biden doesn't have the working brain cells to come up with any kind of a plan. Somebody in their State Department, somebody else is coming up with it, but it's under Biden administration, so we'll let that go. Okay? We'll just let that go. I mean, it's under the Biden administration. That's good enough. An aide to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed on Sunday that Israel has accepted a framework deal for winding down the Gaza war now being advanced by U.S. Biden, who, though he described as a flawed and in much need of more work. In an interview with Britain Sunday Times, the proposal is a deal we've agreed to. It's not a good deal, but we clearly want the hostages. Again, this is my personal opinion here. If Hamas were to release the hostages at noon our time today, that's an hour and 20 minutes from now. 20 some odd minutes. Within 24 hours, it would be over and done with. If all of the hostages and or their bodies were returned back to Israel. The problem is that they don't, for some reason, the Hamas can't find all their hostages. Or at least they claim they can't. And that, I think, is a legitimate sticking point here for Israel. Hamas took, on October 7th, a bunch of hostages. And I think those hostages, if they were all to be returned, including the bodies of the ones that have died since, I think that is the major sticking point and would go long ways to getting this thing in Gaza over with. Hamas, though, as a whole, the people of Gaza have got to get rid of Hamas. as their power structure. And not just in name only. And that is going to be extremely difficult for them to prove is done. Hamas is a festering sore over there. And the problem is nobody knows who everybody in Hamas is. They don't know who all the leaders are. First level, second level, and third level leaders are. You know, in a way, you're right. Israel, you know, Benjamin Netanyahu, and wants to keep this war going because he wants the destruction of Hamas as much as Hamas wants the destruction of all Jews. That's the issue. That's the long-term issue. Short-term issue though is you know, getting the hostages released. Much like, and again, I want to make sure I'm upfront with this. All right, as much as I despise our current leadership in the United States, as much as I despise, you know, the actions by our leaders, I still love my country. As much as I disagree the way our leadership is doing things, I still love the United States. Okay? I still support Israel despite the fact I disagree with some of the things that the Israeli government has done. It's two separate things. I can say I disagree with what some of the things that the Israeli government and the leadership in the Israeli government has done and still support Israel as a nation, as a country, and as a people. Because I can do the same thing here with our own country. I can do the same thing with my own state. I can do the same thing with my county. I don't live in a city, so I can't say can do it with my city because I don't live inside of an incorporated city. You can disagree with what the leadership of a country, city, or whatever does and still support the country as a whole. And I still support Israel, even though I disagree with some of the things that their leadership has done. And I'm saying that because I disagree with some of the things that they've done here in this and with Gaza from what I've seen here, what I've read here in the United States, half the world away from it. But then my butt is not there in the middle of this. I don't know everything that's gone on. I only know what our biased media has reported. I only know what our biased media has reported, what I've read through tweets on X from people who claim to live in Israel. So I only know what I know, what I've been told, and you never know if I don't trust our media to give us 100% the facts, and I don't trust anything I read on the internet to be 100% the facts. And in situations like this war in Israel, of Gaza, none of us can claim that we know everything that's going on, to know the truth on everything. But there's enough that we do know as to being the truth to know that all these pro-Palestinian protesters are idiots. And they don't have a clue what the hell they're talking about. There is no genocide against the Palestinians. There hasn't been. And the Democratic Party support for the Palestinian people absolutely and totally baffles me in this war. It just absolutely and totally baffles me how these people who think they're intelligent and that they know everything. And maybe it's because of my age and I've been caught up too many times in lies. I've been caught in believing lies too many times. I've become jaded. I don't trust anybody. Like there was a recent story going around. Somebody went to a high school graduation and shot a cop's daughter because that cop shot his son. Turned out to be a wholly fabricated story. But man, for days that story was going around, hotly contested on the internet. People supporting this supposed guy for shooting the cop's daughter because the cop killed his son. It turned out the whole story was fake, but people believed it. They're exactly right about that. Okay. So Toichi, you're exactly right. These when they have it explained to them what from the river to the sea actually means, they sit there and they go, "Oh, I've seen those interviews." And again, I just hope there's always that chance those interviews were faked. You can't even trust man on the street interviews. Don't trust them to be 100% true unless you were there watching them. Or there's somebody you trust performing them. So anyway, I'm hoping that the hostages and or their bodies get released soon, because that would be a great step along the path to ending the war over there. Because the world is against Israel on this for some ungodly for some reason. The anti-Jewish attitude in the world today worries me. And I'm just concerned about it. I don't like seeing it. Maybe it's because I've been to Dachau and spent 2 days there. Maybe because I've seen what happens to, what happened then. And we've seen what happens with racial hate. We've seen what happened here in the United States with racial hate. And this, it's it's just a thing that just while I'm not losing sleep over it, I think about it. And I'm concerned that remember, this kind of hate is contagious and it travels the world very quickly. And it's transferable. Well, we hate the Jews today, but now the Jews are gone, so who are we going to hate tomorrow? Who's going to be that collective whipping boy tomorrow? And how are they going to get picked to be that collective whipping boy? That's one of the reasons I think we need to stand up towards what's going on with this collective anti-Jew hate, this collective hate against anybody who's Jewish and against Israel right now. Oh, Leslie, or the boys, the children. I feel, I don't want the beatings the men are taking. And the young men. I mean, some of these things, these hostages are going to come out here and they are going to be mentally affected for the rest of their lives by what's happened to them. And meanwhile, the world doesn't seem to give a damn about them. Where is the collective demands by the world for Hamas to release these hostages? Where is it? Where is the collective demand for these hostages to be freed? I don't see it. I don't hear about it. I don't read about it. It's not on the news. I hate to end on a somber note like that, guys. Let me see if I can find something funny, something lighthearted. Where's Twitter at? There's usually something goofy here that we can, I gotta find out why my TikTok doesn't work on Chrome. I gotta figure out why I can't pull it up. Let's see here. Let's share X. See what's going on with that. Because I just saw something from Miss Undoomed. Miss Undoomed is somebody I really like sometimes, a lot of times. I need somebody to invent a nice tasting wine that gets you drunk yet has no calories. That could be interesting. I'd rather have a nice tasting whiskey than a wine, but why was these people? Oh, are these road people? Gas people run their asses over. Yes. His actions are more than justified. If you want to play speed bump, I'll be more than glad to pay speed bump to run your ass over. And I drive a pickup truck, damn it. I've got plenty of ground clearance. I was sitting at an intersection one day on major road, 4-lane highway. And I'm sitting at a red light, and all of a sudden this worker comes over and puts a cone right in front of my truck. Now, I've got cars, I'm on the right-hand lane. I got cars in my left-hand lane, at least 30 or 40 of them behind, going in that left lane. And he wants to tell me I got to sit there and wait for all them cars to go through before I can go because he wants me to change lanes. He could kiss my ass. I drove right over his cone. I dragged it all the way to my house. I didn't give a damn. You don't block off a cone. You don't start blocking off a road right in front of people. I don't even cook with wine that much, Leslie. I mean, I've got some rice wine and I've got some cooking wine in my cupboard. Sometimes I make stir fry. If I'm going to fancy it up some, I'll use some rice wine in it. Hey, Mike, how's it going? But yeah, I like watching these people get run over. Run their asses over. Don't even slow down. Lay on the horn, run their asses over. HOA Karens. Oh, I love.
My name's Jessica. I'm from the HOA.
Wait, we don't have an HOA.
I'm bringing a couple of citations over to you guys. I don't know if you didn't get the memo. You can't have 3 cars in your driveway. Ma'am, do you?
Kiss my ass. I can't have. If I've got 2 cars in the driveway that's mine and my wife's. Somebody come up and tell me I can't have a friend over and park in my driveway. You can kiss my ass. And what's she doing opening up the gate and coming into my backyard? That's trespassing. That's go to jail time.
Ma'am, do you live here? Do you live in that RV out there? You look like the type that would live in an RV.
Put your little camera on me. First of all, you need to back yourself out of my yard or this dog will attack you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't have a permit for that dog either. So, knock, knock.
Oh, yeah, Karen, get out of my yard. Oh, okay. Okay, that's nothing. Liberals wearing a Trump mugshot. Conservatives wearing a Trump mugshot. Okay. I don't care about that. Oh man, yeah. This is an older video, but man, that woman, I love her. That woman, that would be my wife. My wife would do this to somebody. She carries. And somebody come up with a gun waving it around my wife, it'd take her a half a second to shoot them. She don't play. But this woman, I mean, I love exactly what she's doing there. That may be an older video, but I love it. Mike, I'm glad you're doing okay. I don't care about that. What a goat rope. Two sets of crazies bouncing off of each other. You gotta love it. What the hell? Oh, there's no way he's doing that on purpose. Bouncing down it. Holy cheap jet. Ah. That's you're breaking bones here. What are you doing wanting to break your own bones like that? Let's see, from a handful of poneglyphs, I have only read the record breathtaking fast forward, but what I found, okay. All right, I'm missing something there. Okay. Oh, Hammer got this one right. Hands down, the best catch on Tinder. Okay, that was an honest laugh. A bear. But getting smacked in the head by a rock like that, how's it supporting your neck to keep your neck from getting snapped off? And that's not a suit. A bear's charging at me. Give me 5 minutes to change into this damn thing. You got to go looking for a bear to put that thing on. You got to plan to go looking for a bear to put that thing on. Face 10 out of 10. Okay, I'll give it. Okay. Body 9 out of 10. Personality 20 out of 10. Arms 1 out of 2. Oh, this is cute. I like that. That's cute. That's absolutely adorable. All right, y'all. Everybody, try to have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Tomorrow's definitely going to be a shorter stream. I've got my own doctor's appointments tomorrow. Get to have ultrasounds and injections and minor surgery. So tomorrow is going to be a shorter day because I got to get ready for that. So y'all have a fun one. Enjoy yourselves. Be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with. And have a good day.